You meant evil. You meant evil. Yeah. You meant evil, God meant good. You meant evil, misunderstood. The pit, the prison, the palace came. You meant evil, God flipped the frame. 17 to 30, 13 years. You meant evil through all the tears. Joseph stood at the end and said, you meant evil, but God instead. Still waters raw flow. Still, yeah. Jacob loved Joseph more than all his brothers. Coat of many colors. The favoritism lit a fire in the others. They saw him coming from a distance, said the dreamer comes. Let's kill him, let's throw him in the pit, let's see what he becomes. Reuben said don't shed his blood. Judah said let's sell 20 pieces of silver. Joseph in the well, then lifted out and handed over Ishmaelites to Egypt bound. The coat dipped in the blood of goats, a father on the ground tearing his own garments, weeping would not be consoled. And Joseph 17 years old, and chains already sold, but the Lord was with Joseph. That's the line that changes everything. In the pit, in Potiphar's house, in the prison, same thing. You meant evil, God meant good. You meant evil, misunderstood. The pit, the prison, the palace came. You meant evil, God flipped the frame. 17 to 30, 13 years. Yeah, you meant evil through all the tears. Joseph stood at the end and said, you meant evil, but God instead. Still waters raw. Potiphar's wife lied, the prison door closed behind. 2 more years after the cupbearer forgot his time. But Pharaoh dreamed 7 fat cows, 7 lean. Nobody read it. Joseph standing in between the forgotten and the throne interpreted the dream. 7 years of plenty, then 7 years of famine on the scene. Pharaoh said, can we find anyone like this man in whom the Spirit of God dwells? Joseph walked out of the room of the prison into the palace. 30 years old, second in command. The senior ring, the fine linen, Egypt in his hand. Then the famine came, the brothers bowed. They didn't recognize his face. And Joseph, looking at the ones who sold him, still found grace. You meant evil against me, God meant it for good, to save many lives. He said it to the ones who never thought he would. The pit wasn't the end, the prison wasn't the end, the silence wasn't the end. God was in every chapter. The brothers thought they closed. You meant evil, God meant good. He always does. You meant evil, God meant good. You meant evil, misunderstood. The pit, the prison, the palace came. You meant evil, God flipped the frame. 17 to 30, 13 years. Yeah, you meant evil through all the tears. Joseph stood at the end and said, you meant evil, but God instead. Still waters raw flow. 13 years. The pit, the prison, the palace. And at the end, Joseph looked at his brothers and said, you meant evil, God meant good. That's the whole story. In one sentence, still waters raw flow.